Welcome back. Spotlight on Facebook this morning. A new article by technology magazine Wired titles 15 Months of Fresh Hell Inside Facebook, shedding light on Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg's faltering relationship with the platform Instagram and its co-founders. Joining us right now is the cyber guy, Kurt Knudsen. Kurt, it's always a pleasure to see you. What's going on here?
Maria, good morning to you. You know, it's not a surprise if you take a look at what you have in the marketplace with Zuckerberg responding over the last 3 years of privacy issues, starting with the Cambridge Analytica catastrophe for the company that really just sealed the fate of it being seen as an organization that does harvest data and resell it and has run amok at the time. You've got Davos, Switzerland. You've got a bunch of executives, including Sheryl Sandberg there. They're powwowing just down, knowing they're going to go into a group of analysts and get some good hard questions from true people in the business world. And it turns out that their idea of what Facebook is and it's evolving into is now an internal fight into that room about what this message is that Mark Zuckerberg's saying. Is that, all right, let's get on this new mission. I think it underscores, Maria, at the end of the day, that not only does this turmoil that we see externally at Facebook and their messaging exist, but it's really strongly existing right there up at the C-suite.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point, and it's a point that Dagan has brought up over and over again in terms of whether or not these companies are media companies and and how do they want to characterize themselves, because that entails a whole different regulatory backdrop, doesn't it, Dagan?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, Dagan and I have talked about this. Yeah. You know, Dagan's right. I will tell you, you know, it took Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, it was like his coming out, and it was just funny because for so long he kept saying, "Oh no, we're not a media company. We're not a media company. No matter what, we're not a media company." And eventually, one day, somebody says, "Oh, well, yeah, I guess we're a media company." He finally owned it, but at the end of the day, now,
more and more people getting their news from these companies, Dagan.
Right.
There's no question.
It's the equivalent. I've always said it's the equivalent of getting some email chain letter from your uncle with a list of conspiracies. That's the definition in some way of the, quote, news, unquote, that you get on Facebook. And if they parse content, if they decide what you see and what you don't see, then it is most definitely a media company.
Well, that's what Devin Nunes is saying.
Right.
And he's suing 5 media companies right now.
Because you can't sue them for defamation under the laws that exist on the books from the mid-90s.
But he's calling them content developers.
Right.
Some very choice quotes from that article, which was very well written in Wired. The first one I like is, Facebook's other problem was it didn't understand the wealth of antipathy that had built up against it over the previous 2 years. They have no partners, they have no friends, they just do whatever they want to do, and this had finally come back to bite them. The other quote that I like is, Senator, we run ads, the comment that Zuckerberg had made, I believe it was to Orrin Hatch, right? A phrase that was soon emblazoned on T-shirts in Menlo Park. Who would put an insult that you made to a U.S. senator, no matter how funny, who would put that on T-shirts and walk around campus with them?
So arrogant.
I mean, they are out of touch with the fact that they exist on a planet. And there's other human beings.
But, I mean, I think the interesting thing about it is that given all their woes, I mean, the network's still, they're not losing advertisers and they're not losing subscribers. I mean, subscribers have increased, advertising revenue has increased. So it seems as though for Facebook, they literally are another planet, and the planet continues to make money.
But correct me if I'm wrong, is time on the platform going down, though?
Well,
the amount of time that people spend on Facebook in any given month or week.
And more importantly, there's enormous regulatory overhang right now. And that is what is weighing on the stock. And you know, Richard, you're absolutely right. The advertisers don't care. The users don't care.
Well, if you want to see the worst case scenario, look at Europe. Because what Europe has done, Kurt, in terms of the big government on some of these companies, a lot of people wonder if that kind of big government bite is going to happen in the U.S. It doesn't look like it, but certainly Europe has these companies in its target.
British Information Commission is what it's called. The UK taking a hard look at reshaping how social media is hitting mainly children there, and they're asking for a lot of rule change to start up in 2020. One of the things, centerpiece, would be removing the ability for kids under the age of 18 to be able to like anything. Just remove the entire feature and functionality of like, and that's a pretty big idea. And their complaint is, after study, they believe that it's not good for the well-being of that small child. Are they right? you better believe it. How much do we feel suckered for sitting there going like? I just wish there was a like button that liked all my like buttons, and then I don't have to even engage. And all of that, and everybody feels good that I gave them the affirmation they were looking for that Facebook tricked us into doing in the first place. So it does cause greater engagement on the platform, and it is sort of mindless, and it takes us away from our true self into this virtual self of looking for some form of engagement and recognition that just keeps that platform engagement way up. It's a disingenuous methodology that I think glares at us today.
And it's interesting to see what's going on in the UK as a result of that. Kirk, great to see you. Thanks so much.
Great to see you,
Kirk
Maria.
Knudsen joining us.